If you're over 50 and you've been feeling anxious, restless, or constantly on edge, and you can't quite explain why, I want you to stop and watch this entire video, because what I'm about to share with you is something most doctors never mention during a routine checkup, and it could be the missing piece you've been looking for years. Here's what so many people over 50 experience. You wake up in the morning already feeling tense. Your mind is racing before the day has even started. Little things that never used to bother you, a phone call, a minor inconvenience, a change in plans, suddenly feel overwhelming. You might feel a tightness in your chest, a kind of low-level nervousness that just won't go away. And the frustrating part? There's nothing obviously wrong in your life. You tell yourself to relax. You try breathing exercises. Maybe you've even talked to your doctor about it, but the feeling keeps coming back. Most people assume this is just what getting older feels like. That after 50, anxiety and tension are simply part of the package, something you learn to live with. But here's the thing, that assumption may be completely wrong, because researchers have been looking at this very question. Why do so many otherwise healthy adults over 50 suddenly develop this persistent, unexplained anxiety? And what they found was not what anyone expected. It wasn't purely psychological, it wasn't just stress, and it wasn't simply the result of life circumstances. There was something happening at a biological level, something going on inside the cells, inside the nervous system, that was quietly making the brain and body much more reactive to stress than they should be. And when scientists dug deeper, they kept finding the same pattern over and over again. Something was missing, something the nervous system desperately needs to stay calm. And most people over 50 are not getting nearly enough of it. Now, before I tell you what that is, I want you to think about something for a moment. Your nervous system is like an electrical grid. When everything is balanced, signals travel smoothly, muscles stay relaxed, and your brain can shift in and out of stress mode without getting stuck. But what happens when a critical component of that grid starts running low? The whole system becomes unstable, overly sensitive. It starts firing when it shouldn't, reacting to small things as if they were serious threats, keeping you in a state of low-level alarm, even when there's nothing to be alarmed about. And here's where things get really interesting. This isn't a rare condition. It isn't something that only affects a small number of people. Studies suggest that a significant portion of adults over 50 are running low on this one critical mineral, and most of them have absolutely no idea. So what is it? The mineral is magnesium, but not just any form of magnesium. There is a specific, highly specialized form called magnesium orotate, and it works very differently from the magnesium supplements most people are familiar with. Let me explain why this matters. Magnesium is involved in over 300 biochemical reactions in the body, but when it comes to anxiety, the nervous system, and emotional regulation, its role is absolutely central. Here's how it works. Your nervous system relies on something called GABA, gamma-aminobutyric acid. GABA is essentially your brain's natural calming chemical. It's the signal that tells your neurons to slow down, stop firing, and relax. Magnesium helps activate GABA receptors. When magnesium levels are adequate, your brain can produce and use GABA effectively. The nervous system can pump the brakes when needed. But when magnesium is low, those brakes become weak. Your neurons keep firing. Your stress response stays activated. And that low-level anxiety, that constant feeling of being on edge, becomes your new normal. Now here's where magnesium orotate becomes important. Most forms of magnesium, like magnesium oxide or magnesium citrate, do a reasonable job of raising magnesium levels in the blood. But they don't always penetrate deeply into the cells where the real work happens. Magnesium orotate is different. The orotate molecule acts as a carrier. It helps transport magnesium directly into the cells, including heart muscle cells and brain cells. This means the magnesium gets to where it's actually needed, rather than just circulating in the bloodstream. For the nervous system specifically, this deeper cellular delivery may make a significant difference in how effectively magnesium can support calm, balanced brain function. But here's the part that surprises most people. The connection between magnesium and anxiety isn't just about your brain. It turns out that one of the earliest places magnesium deficiency starts showing up, before the anxiety even becomes obvious, is somewhere most people would never think to look: And once you understand this connection, the anxiety, the restlessness, the constant low-level tension, it all starts to make a lot more sense. You see, magnesium deficiency doesn't just affect one system in isolation, it creates a chain reaction. And that chain reaction quietly builds over months, sometimes even years, before people start to notice that something is genuinely wrong. So let's talk about the warning signs, because some of them may already be showing up in your body right now, and you might not be connecting them to this at all. The first and most recognizable sign is persistent anxiety or nervousness that doesn't seem to have a clear cause. This is the feeling we've been talking about, the low hum of tension that never fully goes away, even on good days. The second sign is sleep disturbance. Magnesium plays a critical role in regulating melatonin and calming the nervous system before sleep. When levels are low, many people find themselves lying awake with racing thoughts, waking up frequently through the night, or waking early in the morning already feeling wired. The third sign is muscle tension and twitching. If you notice your eyelid twitching, muscles tightening in your neck and shoulders, or unexplained cramps, especially in the legs at night, low magnesium may be a contributing factor. Magnesium is essential for muscle relaxation. Without enough of it, muscles stay contracted longer than they should. The fourth sign is heart palpitations. Many people over 50 experience occasional fluttering, skipping, or pounding sensations in the chest. While these always deserve medical attention, magnesium deficiency is a well-known contributing factor to irregular heart rhythm and palpitations, particularly because of its role in regulating the electrical signals that control the heartbeat. The fifth sign is increased sensitivity to stress. If things that used to roll off your back now feel genuinely difficult to handle, if your tolerance for frustration has dropped, if you find yourself snapping at people or feeling overwhelmed by situations that previously seemed manageable, this heightened stress reactivity is one of the clearest signs that your nervous system is not getting the magnesium support it needs. The sixth sign is fatigue that doesn't improve with rest. Magnesium is involved in the production of ATP, the molecule your cells use for energy. When magnesium is insufficient, energy production becomes less efficient. The result is a kind of deep cellular tiredness that sleep alone doesn't fix. The seventh sign is brain fog and difficulty concentrating. Trouble finding words, difficulty staying focused, a general sense of mental cloudiness. These cognitive symptoms are frequently linked to low magnesium, particularly in adults over 50. If you're recognizing yourself in 2 or more of these symptoms, that's worth paying attention to. So why are so many adults over 50 low in magnesium in the first place? There are several reasons, and most of them are invisible, quietly working in the background without people realizing it. The first reason is age-related absorption decline. As we get older, the digestive system becomes less efficient at absorbing magnesium from food. Even if you're eating a reasonably healthy diet, your body may be extracting significantly less magnesium from that food than it did when you were younger. The second reason is modern food quality. Magnesium is found in whole grains, leafy greens, nuts, and seeds. But due to soil depletion over decades of industrial farming, the magnesium content in many of these foods is considerably lower than it was a generation ago. You could be eating the same diet your parents ate and getting meaningfully less magnesium from it. The third reason is medication use. This is a big one for adults over 50. Several very common medications are known to deplete magnesium from the body. These include proton pump inhibitors, the acid reflux medications like omeprazole and pantoprazole that millions of people take daily, diuretics, which are widely prescribed for blood pressure and heart conditions, and certain diabetes medications. If you're taking any of these, your magnesium levels may be under ongoing pressure without anyone having told you. The fourth reason is chronic stress. This one creates a vicious cycle. When you're under stress, your body uses magnesium at a much higher rate. Low magnesium makes you more sensitive to stress. More stress depletes more magnesium, and the cycle continues. The fifth reason is high sugar and alcohol intake. Both sugar and alcohol accelerate the excretion of magnesium through the kidneys, meaning the body loses more of it in urine. And the sixth reason is that magnesium deficiency is frequently missed on standard blood tests. Most doctors test serum magnesium, the amount floating in your bloodstream, but only about 1% of your body's magnesium is actually in the blood. The vast majority is stored inside cells, so your blood test can come back looking normal even when your cells are significantly depleted. This is one of the main reasons deficiency goes undiagnosed for so long. The good news is that addressing magnesium deficiency is very achievable, and for many people, the improvements in anxiety, sleep, and general well-being can be noticeable within a few weeks. Let's start with food. The richest dietary sources of magnesium include dark leafy greens like spinach and Swiss chard, pumpkin seeds and sunflower seeds, almonds and cashews, black beans and lentils, avocado, dark chocolate with a high cocoa content, and whole grains like oats and quinoa. Making a conscious effort to include several of these foods every day is a great foundation. But for many adults over 50, particularly those dealing with absorption issues or medication-related depletion, diet alone may not be sufficient to restore adequate levels. This is where supplementation becomes relevant. When it comes to magnesium supplements, form matters enormously. Magnesium oxide, the most common and cheapest form, has poor absorption and is not the best choice for nervous system support. Magnesium glycinate is well tolerated, gentle on the digestive system, and has good absorption. It's a solid choice for anxiety and sleep support. Magnesium orotate, as we discussed earlier, goes a step further. Its unique ability to penetrate cell membranes makes it particularly valuable for people whose goal is supporting the heart, the nervous system, and cellular energy production simultaneously. It tends to be more expensive, but for many people over 50, that deeper cellular delivery is exactly what the situation calls for. Typical supplemental doses range from 200 to 400 milligrams per day, though individual needs vary. Taking magnesium in the evening, particularly before bed, can be especially beneficial for people whose anxiety is interfering with sleep. One practical note: if you do experience loose stools when starting magnesium, this is common and usually indicates the dose is too high. Simply reduce the amount and increase gradually. In terms of lifestyle, reducing caffeine intake is worth considering, as caffeine increases magnesium excretion. Regular moderate exercise supports magnesium utilization. And addressing chronic stress through whatever methods work for you, whether that's walking, meditation, time in nature, or simply better boundaries around work, will help break the depletion cycle. Always speak with your doctor before starting a new supplement, particularly if you have kidney issues or are taking medications, as magnesium can interact with certain drugs. So let's bring this all together. If you're over 50 and you've been living with persistent anxiety, unexplained tension, poor sleep, muscle tightness, or a sense that your stress tolerance just isn't what it used to be, this may not simply be aging. It may be your body running low on one of the most essential minerals for nervous system function. Magnesium, and specifically the form known as magnesium orotate, plays a foundational role in keeping your brain calm, your muscles relaxed, your heart rhythm steady, and your energy levels supported. The fact that this deficiency is so common after 50, so frequently missed on standard blood tests, and so often connected to the very medications many people are already taking, makes it one of the most important nutritional conversations you can have with your doctor. You don't have to accept feeling anxious and on edge as your new normal. Understanding what your body actually needs is the first step toward feeling like yourself again. If this video resonated with you, if you recognize some of those symptoms in yourself or someone you care about, please give this video a like. It helps more people over 50 find this information when they need it most. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Have you ever tried magnesium for anxiety or sleep? Did it make a difference? Or are you just now learning about the connection? Share your experience. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to read today. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. We post new videos every week covering the hidden nutritional factors that affect how you feel after 50. Real information explained clearly so you can make better decisions for your health. I'll see you in the next one.